We've been waiting for this, I reckon, for quite some time now. You don't really realise it. We sit at home, we watch on the box, and we don't get the real atmosphere of it. And being here, living in this region, experiencing this is. I was fortunate enough last year to be with Durban Super Giants, and being in their dressing room, it feels like an IPL atmosphere. It's got that setup of it. Not that this tournament will be as big as the IPL. I don't think there's many in the world that will be as big. But from a South African point of view, this is good, as good as it gets. High class cricketers, world class cricketers, experiencing some youngsters coming that I haven't seen. To discover only a few weeks ago that this little Mokoena is come from nowhere. I've not seen him at all, and here he is on the biggest stage against some of the finest cricketers in the world, and he's showing what he can do. So it's just a great vibe, really is. It's very special, and I hope this thing gets bigger and bigger.
You mentioned Mokoena. What do you make of him as a bowling talent from whatever you've seen?
I came here to practice, and it's the first time I've seen him. And I asked Trevor Penny, who's his kid. He said, no, he's come from, he played for SA under 19, so he's part of the pipeline. And watching him bowl, I think it's almost one of those kids who's a little bit ahead of his time, makes good decisions under pressure, bowls a very natural. He's got a natural action. He seems to be a good athlete, but during his spell and as he goes on through the 4-over setup, he makes quality decisions when it needs to be, and that's a very rare talent that we see. He's up there, and I think he'll still develop from an athletic point of view, from an athlete point of view, and I think that he's definitely a fan, 100% fan. So. I think there might be a few Division 1 teams that might be queuing up. So hopefully the DP World Lions might snap him up. We'll see. But what a great find, and here in Bowl's backyard. A few years ago, I was actually in a conversation where Hashim Amla sat in the same room, and I said, if there's one batter that's going to get close to Sachin, it would be Virat Kohli. Probably won't get there, but he looked at me and he goes, "How can you say that?" It's just this guy's hunger. I don't think I've ever seen a hunger in a player than Virat. I've got massive respect for him. I often talk about it in dressing room chats about being a champion trainer. There's no one that trains as hard as him. He is just a machine. I actually miss him. I miss him in the Test match arena. I still think he's almost like an AB. You think he's retired too early, but no doubt we will see him in the white ball arena in the World Cup very, very soon.
Final question. You're seeing a generation of fast bowlers, in the 30s coming to AG as well. Who do you see, in the next angle of players, kind of taking whatever they have done forward, especially in a dynamic landscape where the formats are changing, the matches are not as much as what these guys play?
So, obviously, the biggest star moment in our country is. Are you talking about South Africa, right?
Even globally.
All right. Look, I just think that the consumption that T20 cricket has across the world. I'm not talking about India because the Indian players are not allowed to play outside of the IPL. So globally, I'm talking about a guy like Haris Rauf, who, 2 years ago he's bowling 155-6, and all of a sudden he's no longer in the Test arena. So it's sad to see that players take that route because you just see skill, pace, aggressiveness. You just see everything. The package is complete. And then all of a sudden, no more. So are we going to see that a lot more because players need to look after their not only mental health, because that's got a big thing to play now, mental health, but also physical. that's probably why a guy like Harris Ralph has decided enough's enough. I'm going to need to look after my T20 body. So it's sad in a way because, but unfortunately that is what this format brings, and all three formats. So I think we'll see it. We must enjoy KG Rabada while we still can. Really do. He's a little Queen Mapako. We saw this McQueen here, and he's the next thoroughbred in line. So, but yeah, look, I think probably we'll see a little bit more.